Why is it said that Bitcoin is on the edge of a cliff and is about to dive? If you are interested in this issue, please follow me. Looking at the daily line, we can find that Bitcoin is testing the previous low of the daily line, which is 24,000. The position of about $150 seems to be far away. If we fall below the previous low, I think there will be a wave of rapid decline, just like the market we have seen before. Why? Because you can find in the absence of any shocks among us, you can find that our corresponding price range runs very fast when it rises, and the market suddenly pulls a very long distance and walks a long way. And the volume it is also very big. So when we go through the same price range in the corresponding market, it will run very quickly and reach it. If we compare it with the area below 25,000 to the middle of the area of 20,000, it didn't produce any shocks. Like our previous period, it also pulled up very, very violently. And there was no accumulation of chips in the middle. Like this position, he has accumulated a lot of chips. If we say that we have the same movement, he will actually, if there is a shock, he will not be able to walk clearly. He will not be able to walk quickly. If he does not walk decisively, he will walk timidly. Even if this period is indeed a downward trend, he will not be able to grasp it, or in other words, he will rebound in the middle. The range is too big and it will be difficult to operate. You can see that when our market rises very quickly, there is no accumulation of energy. No chips accumulate in the middle, and the rise is very fast. In fact, if we look at it accordingly, at this position, if we break through the 25,000 position, you can find that it pulls very quickly in front of us. We are very likely to fall below 25,000, especially the previous low point, because this previous low point can be very fast. Clearly distinguish the judgment of our daily line from the high and low points, or whether it has broken down or whether it has hit a very clear low point. If we look at it correspondingly, in fact, our position in the front may be 21,500 only when the position is exchanged. Can he be able to generate a certain support? And even if it falls a little more violently, we can directly test the bottom position of our previous market, which is about 19,000 to 20,000. Maybe our breakout this time will directly let us see the Bitcoin at the beginning. Maybe there are too many examples of this kind in the currency circle. We can give a successful case like, let's say the computer is a little tired and it's ready to come out. You can see that we were in the previous period of market upswing. In fact, we were breaking through the previous high point at that time. We bought the spot, bought the bottom, went long, and so on. In fact, how we judged the previous market situation at that time was because after the FTX incident, it had a very rapid and violent decline in the market. Within 2 days, it fell very, very much. We only have more than 20 in the physical part. It is terrible that it runs very quickly without any accumulation of chips. It runs in this range in the middle of the price. So when our price runs through the same range again, we will go very quickly even if we took a lot of days in the back. But he did not have any callbacks in the middle. So he directly and quickly pulled up directly. And our corresponding market directly pulled up. In fact, it is for contract traders. This kind of market is worth grasping. If it is said that among us, it isn't a positive shock, it will actually be very difficult to make a contract. For example, the decline in the period among us is indeed a good decline. At the lowest point, he also had a 20% drop. 20% in the currency circle plus a little leverage is actually very impressive. The profit is very considerable. But this wave of decline is actually very difficult to grasp because he appeared too much in the middle. After such a relatively large rebound and fall, wow, the height of the rebound is frightening to death. It is very likely that the mobile take profit will be swept out. Or some people may fall halfway before shorting. And this place will stop him at the same place. If you leave the market after a loss, you can see that our subsequent decline has produced a big correction. And then it has started a relatively smooth decline. Even if we do the right direction, we will still suffer very painfully. As far as the contract is concerned, he is not suitable for this kind of market, which is difficult for him to do well. For example, this market, or this market. Of course, if this market breaks down at that time, I also expect him to, as before, there was such a market that quickly ran through this range. Of course I could do it if I saw it. But if we were to do this kind of breakout, the time when it broke through was in the early morning of our East 8th District. At 5 or 6 o'clock, I went to review the market, which is actually more difficult. You can find that after we did, it did have a very rapid decline. In fact, our current market is also the same, I think. If it falls below our previous low point, there will also be such a rapid decline. What about this very rapid decline? We don't need to take a long time for the market to run for a long distance in the position. The sub-profit will be pulled away. And a big gap between the stop loss and the stop loss can create a buffer for us. In fact, this kind of market is the most worthy and suitable market for contract traders to participate in. Because all of a sudden we just make a profit to avoid long nights and dreams. If we cut to the 4-hour view, there are actually signs that are not good for the bulls in the 4-hour period. For example, you can see that we have a head and shoulders in this position. We have a top structure under the background of the short position, which is very unfavorable to the long position. It is even possible that we will have a violent breakout. If it falls below the neckline, I think this is very likely to happen. Well, let's measure the target price. Although the method of measuring the target price is relatively simple, and the error is relatively large, I think it's worth measuring to see that it is about 23,000. Based on what we said before, he thinks that 23,000 is not enough for him. It is very likely that we will directly see 22,000, 21, or even 20,000. Then let's cut the level down to 1 hour. If we get there next in terms of 1 hour. In fact, in a relatively small cycle, the current position of Bitcoin is. He has a downward trend line suppressing him. If he breaks through in our follow-up market, he will still have time to linger for a while. If the sky is not broken within 30 days, the advantage of the bears will not be there. But judging from the current situation, the bears have the advantage. At this time, there should be a wave like ours before. Next, if we look at the Bitcoin dominance, we can also find that it is slowly falling back, and this level is not small. This is a daily level market. How about this slow decline? If we look at the Bitcoin market again, Bitcoin, what he is currently doing is hitting a high point, then falling, rebounding, and then oscillating. At this time, Bitcoin dominance is slowly falling, which means that funds are flowing back to altcoins and other currencies, not Bitcoin. At this time, if the altcoins start to rise or are stronger than Bitcoin, in fact, if you look at the price increase list, you will find that some altcoins have indeed increased during this period. This is especially true for Bitcoin. For the long-term trend of Bitcoin, it is definitely not good, and it is definitely not good for bulls. So we can pay attention to whether there is a trading opportunity of a sharp drop in the future. If you want to participate in this trading opportunity, you are very welcome to click below the Bybit link now. As long as KYC deposits $100, you can immediately receive a Bitcoin contract position worth $1,000. And this is a real contract position. That is, as long as you make a profit, you can directly withdraw the currency. If you lose money doesn't matter because this is a free position. Cryptocurrency market instant message. If you don't want to miss the next trading opportunity, please press the subscribe button and turn on the little bell to join YouTube's most profitable Bitcoin Chinese channel. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.